Hey everybody, welcome to the Combo Wombo podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Gimpy, and I'm with the one, the only, the indomitable Chipped Monk. What's up, brother?
What's happening, man?
I just had to give you a little zhuzh, a little,
yeah.
you know, just a quick little,
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, little spicy, extra spicy sauce.
That ketchup bottle on the bottom of it, get that out.
My mind went immediately to like Taco Bell spicy packs. It's like I'm a mid. Yeah.
Okay with that.
That mid flavored pack, dude, that nobody wants, dude.
That nobody wants. What's interesting? So there's a study done every year about which like sauce packet is bundled the most. Which I don't know how they do it, right? It must be a survey, because whenever I'm at Taco Bell, they're like, "You want sauce?" I'm like, "Yeah, give me Diablo," right? They're like, "Okay," and they just take a handful and just throw it all in the bag. I'm like, how do you measure that? but I assume it's a survey. But mild and Diablo for Taco Bell are the top two sauces, with like the salsa being third. Like, who the fuck gets the salsa at Taco Bell, right? Like,
I don't know, man. Somebody's out there gambling everything. They're like, let's go for it, dude.
Yeah.
They're like, I want, that's the person who's like, do you want sauce packs? And they're like, no. And then they like throw salsa in there anyway. Just
right. This shit's dry as fuck. Here you go.
Yeah. Throw it in there. You order a dozen crunchy tacos, bro. Here's a little salsa to help
tacos,
you.
No drink.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel bad for you, brother. Just throw this salsa.
Making all kinds of mistakes from the rip. Yeah, man. How's everything, man? It's just good with you.
You know what, man? Everything. I can't complain. I mean, I can, but I can't complain. You know what I mean? It's Father's Day today, the time of recording. So just waiting for the kids to wake up and see what's what. I'll probably make some breakfast. I got a Starbucks coffee for myself. No sponsor or whatever.
Yeah.
Just had to grab a iced macchiato, dude.
I see a dude every morning with his little his Caribou or something. He has his little fluffy drink, and he's always smiling. And then he sees me walking by him, and he always like frowns for a little bit, but now he just keeps smiling. So
okay.
It's like he didn't want other people to know that he was enjoying it. That was like his whole morning thing. And he's like, this dude's trying to steal my smile.
Coffee, man. I'm a big breakfast person, dude. I gotta have breakfast every day. Like I'm not one to skip it. I can skip lunch, but I can't skip breakfast. You know what I mean? It's just
I'll have breakfast for lunch, dude. Switch things up.
For sure. I get that. But yeah, man, I've been doing good as far as like the gaming landscape and stuff like that. Still rocking out Street Fighter. Still a blast.
What's going on with Street Fighter, man? They do any updates? Any
I mean, like
quality of life changes?
There's been some online tournaments or whatever. Seeing how the pros react to it.
You watch any? Playing any?
A little bit. I'm not gonna. I like I said, I don't think I'll do any events this year. Obviously my feelings and time may say something different, but I just don't have the ability to go to a tournament. You know what I mean? Like a big
commitment,
event,
man.
With wife, kids, like work's not that big a deal. I can work wherever. I could probably just go and still work. So I work from home. So, but it's just like can't just leave the wife with the kids for a weekend and not say anything. So,
you can bring the kids with you, dude. Start training them. This could be the start of the story arc, dude.
Yeah, right. Nah. I think we'll chill for now. But I'm enjoying the game for what it is, man. I'm just grinding. It works phenomenally on the Steam Deck, so that's been my primary method of playing it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been good, man.
I'm surprised that you're not using like some sticks or something, like a nice hitbox or something. You had that hooked up to the Steam Deck, dude? What? No way.
I use
it's disgusting, dude.
Pro Hayabusa, and I use my my Nreal Air glasses.
Okay.
Connected to a dock. That's all. That's how I play it. I'm basically playing it on my kitchen table. I played it outside the other day, just on my deck.
Yeah. All right. I disagree with your life choices, but I respect them.
With it, brother?
I don't know, man. It just seems like kind of convoluted. I don't know, man. It just feels wrong somehow. I don't know. It's just I have a visceral disgust reaction to all of that. I appreciate it. I respect it. But it's like in my gut, my heart of hearts, I'm
You're
like,
saying I should just be playing it with like the deck itself, like as like a PSP or Game Boy or whatever, just
or like on the TV, like hooked up, you know, like something.
I can hook it up to the TV too, but I mean, like I have a HDMI cable running through my walls, so I can just hook up my computer to that. But you know, the kids are home from school. They're typically watching like cartoons or something on TV.
Man, you could get them like their own mini hit boxes, dude, and start their training arcs, dude. They're not plugged into anything. Be like, this is how they learn.
I have other arcade sticks.
Start a dojo, like a little. Start getting the neighborhood kids, like
right.
Bring them all over to run tourneys underground.
Get the Eye of the Tiger playing in the background at all times, just like a dun, dun. You know, I mean, just
start assigning them like spirits. You know, like you're a Ryu main, like this guy's a guy main. You know. Like your play style,
right. Like we have a Shaman King arc here.
You gotta pull like gotcha balls or something with like their mains and be like, "This is who you have to be in the tourney."
It's pretty great. My kids haven't really.
That's way less cringy than you on your Steam Deck on the deck with the sunglasses in the sun, with the the arcade stick in your hand. Like, are you on a table? Is it in your lap? I just picture you on like an old man rocker, just chilling out there.
Like, could be on an old man rocker if I wanted to. Actually, we got 2 rocking chairs the other day. I was going to start putting together. I could literally be doing that, dude. But I mean, it's on a table. We have a table out there, and I just popped it on and just played. And the kids are playing outside, and I'm wearing the sunglasses so I can still see the kids and play my game. Man, it's the best of both worlds, dude. It's just like that Miley Cyrus movie.
They don't have like any sort of online communication, do they? Like voice or anything?
I don't. I mean, maybe within the game. I feel like uses it, but I'm on Discord talking to people if I'm playing against them. You know, just talking through the deck, man. It works great.
I feel like we're missing that from like the Xbox 360. We could just like leave voice messages to people, be like, "Man, you're a troll. This is garbage." Yeah, dude.
True.
We're missing a little bit of that, shite talking, dude.
That's true. But,
nice, man.
Yeah, toxicity. You know what it is. But yeah, man, I'm enjoying the hell out of it. It's definitely made me more excited for what's coming as well. Tekken 8, Mortal Kombat 1, and the other 2 big fighting game releases this year. And like I said in the previous pod, I don't know how they'll top Street Fighter.
Man, it's one king of fighters, dude. And Street Fighter right now.
Exactly. But yeah, man, other than that, I actually got in and I was working on some the run cycle animations for my side-scrolling game.
Oh, nice, man.
Professor was giving me shit the other day. He's like, man, Chip's got 2 games out and you haven't gotten 1.
Dang.
It's true.
I don't know. Like, one of them's not really a game. Like, you just kind of watch things happen. The other game's a game.
But,
like,
it's
like a tech demo.
Yeah. It is what it is, So I was working on that. So
shit, dude. Has the professor been working on anything? What's he been up to?
Nah.
This is why he's talking shit. Yeah, dude.
Exactly.
I know he's listening to this. What happened, professor? What happened?
But yeah, man. What about you, man? How have you been? What have you been playing? Chilling?
I've just been chilling. I haven't been playing much of anything. I've been doing some program. I started working on that like Hex game I was showing you about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got into a problem with like unit placement where like it's not respected, and I think I have to like redo the tile grid system that I have. Because right now, like in my head, my heart of hearts, I was like, oh, I'll just make a simple grid that I can like adjust on the fly. So if I want like really big battles, I can just like set the grid size that way.
Yeah.
But the way unit placement works and like the way Unity works, it needs like a tile ID to like get like where it should place things. Because right now it's just treating everything on the screen as part of that grid. Because the way the tile map works, but it's like it needs like a tile like sprite to like pull where it's from. But because I'm like generating it, it doesn't respect that.
Got it. Okay.
So then I was like, man, I need a break from this. So I started working on like another game. I don't know. You know how it is.
Yeah.
At a certain point I was like thinking about every couple of years I always think, man, you're looking at like these big AAA games and shit, and like there's so much like convoluted nonsense that's happening on screen. You just keep looking down at the mini map, and I was like, what if I just made the mini map the game, dude? Like, so I've been working on that. I've started playing with Boids. I don't know if you know about Boids.
I
It's
do
like
not. I do not.
I don't know, dude. It's like math. It's some maths to like sim like birds, flock of birds behavior. It's like a very simple
Okay.
like mathematics that like creates like emergent behavior like in objects to like they like fly around like birds and stuff. But you can use
Okay.
this for like crowd simulation and all this other stuff. So I was like, if I use this, I can like I built out like a city. I found out how to quickly generate that using like Blender and like Google Maps. It has like this plugin. I think it's like GIS, the GIS. So you
Okay.
can like type in a location and then like it can pull that out and then it like can generate like 3D like simple cubes of like the city. You
Okay.
can also like pull in height maps and like roads and stuff.
Wow.
So I like pulled in a
Okay.
city. Yeah, dude. And I was like, all right, let me simulate like a bunch of crowds like walking around the city. So then I got that working. And I was like, yeah, this is all right.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And the
So
big and the
then,
bigger point of this being.
yeah, you know, just it's doing it for the love of the game, bro. And then I was like thinking about all this and I was like, you know, if I could just like run around the city. So I added a player character and I was running around, have it
Okay.
so the camera adjusts so it, like moves further away. So you can picture it as like a mini map, almost like a 2D type of game
Got
where
it.
like the camera
Okay.
just kind of zooms out and like you can see all these people wandering around and
Sure.
then
Sure.
there's nothing really in there. So I was like, I need to add a gun. And then I was like, man, it's kind of weird that that's like the first thing that, you know, I think about.
You're the lead developer for Shadow the Hedgehog. How do we make Shadow unique from Sonic? Give him a gun. What?
Yeah, dude.
Blat
Well, if
blat
he had a
motherfucker.
gun.
That's Shadow.
Yeah, I think this cartoon's racist. Where's the black hedgehog get a gun? This is crazy.
Exactly what
Yeah,
happened.
I was thinking more like along the lines of like GTA 2 and like throwback
Oh
to
yeah.
like a bunch of like those flash games where you're like in a
Mhm.
city and it's like sometimes it's a dating sim, sometimes it's like a puzzle, like a visual puzzle quest type thing where it's like you go to like different buildings to get different MacGuffins and there's like
Yeah.
you know it's like every other RPG style game with like
Sure.
fetch quest and everything else. So
Sure.
I was like, man, kind of like the bigger systems now I can like just overlay any other system inside of that. So I was like, I've always talked about like the old drug dealer game from like DOS and like you know
Oh yeah.
I played on like a
Drug Wars
calculator
or
or
Narc or whatever.
yeah, Dope
Yeah.
Wars,
Dope
Narc,
Wars. Hell yeah. Yep.
it's
Yep.
all
Yep.
kinds of
Good
Newgrounds
times.
games.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I was looking for like one specific one that was more like this, where it's like you have like a day night in like 30 days, but it was like all 2D and sprites. And all I could find was like one image of it and like one Vimeo video of like somebody playing it from like back in the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit. So I was like trying to a little bit recreate that, but I was like, it starts with a gun. So then
Yeah. That's a
yeah,
that's a good little blasphemy pass. You know what? Just you speaking made me think of those dating sim games were fun, right? And
yeah,
but like as a naive kid when I was playing them, I was like, oh okay, it's like a neat little life simulation RPG that you can just kill time with at school. I had no
sure.
idea like for the longest time like that 99.9% of them just led to hentai at the end
Yeah.
of it.
My God, this is,
Like,
oh my God, it's
I
a
remember
boob.
there's
Like,
like one that like really blew up on Newgrounds in the early 2000s, right? And
yeah.
Newgrounds wasn't blocked on my school's network, and this was like middle school era, I'd say.
Why
And
would they, man?
and I remember everyone in class was like playing it. Guys, girls, didn't matter, right? They were all like playing this game.
Yeah.
They had a good time with it, and some kid beat it and then
Nice.
just straight hentai pops up on screen and they are like frantically trying to like close it down, right? But if they were calm, no one would have noticed. They would have just
Yeah,
kept
they
this
start
closed
freaking
it.
out.
But
This
I'm
is their
sure they're
moment,
like
dude.
I'm sure they're like clicking through the images first and then going, oh shit, I could get in trouble with this, right?
Yeah, they're
And
like,
this
click,
person
click,
did
click.
not
Oh
know
no.
Alt F4 or whatever, so they're just like clicking all over the place and shit. And
Yeah,
I remember them getting in trouble. And then everyone's like, oh, this is, they got Newgrounds banned. But it's like,
yeah. So,
there must be like some dating sim games that aren't hentai, right? Like I'm sure like the
yeah,
Persona series, right? You can date, right? And like have
I
like
was
a
just
life simulator.
watching some people try and talk shit about Steam.
Okay.
And they're like, they're complaining that there wasn't a lot of minorities and women in like the Steam hierarchy of like the organization.
Okay.
And then like, and then they're like talking about like Steam's like hiring practices where they just kind of hire like senior people, and that's who they want. They don't want,
Within. They hire from within. Yeah.
yeah, and like people that they know. So it's like yeah, if you go back to like the early and mid '90s, it's like, yeah, the senior people were like white dudes. I mean, it is
Right.
what it is.
Right.
But their other big complaint was like, there's porn on Steam. And Gabe was basically like, hey, man, I don't like whatever movie it was. It's like a really popular movie. And he's like, so if it was up to me, like stores and people wouldn't even carry this movie, but people like it. So it's not illegal. Whatever. Yeah. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like their messaging was like, if the game's not illegal or they have like some vague wording where they can just pull games if they want, but
it's at their discretion. It's their marketplace.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah.
So somebody was like, they're like complaining. They're like, there's porn games on here, and there's games where like you shoot people's with, I don't know, like one was like a police brutality simulator or whatever, where you're like going around shooting minorities, and they're like, how can they keep this game up? And I was like, about the pornography though, bro. Like, there's like preferences, bro. You can shut that shit off. Like, I don't see any porn games on Steam. Like, that's on you, simple bitch. Like, you're like, every time I go on Steam, all I do is like find all my favorite porn games, and they keep listing them and trying to sell me more of them. It's like, bro, stop buying them, and also like go to your preferences and be like, don't
filter out porn games.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Like, I don't know. Like, I know those are like newer features too, though. So if like you've always had Steam and like.
It's not that new.
It's been like, I don't know, like for me, like kind of like you with like your school shenanigans and tomfoolery, where like I have other people over, and like if I'm browsing Steam, which I often do, I have it like open. I'm like, I don't need this shit popping up.
There it is, Bukake Quest. It's on your wish list and shit.
The pigeon dating sim, dude. I don't. Like, how did that get there? Oh, why did I buy this? Oh, I must have been in a bundle or something. Yeah, dude. Why was the top comments by me? That's crazy. Must be a similar name. Yeah, dude. So, yeah. So I don't know. Like, it's weird that all they're complaining about, and like, I don't know. There's like a ton of just female or minority video game devs out there, regardless, dude. Like, let alone like senior. I don't. But it's like by the very nature, right? Of like. The minority of people are programmers and game devs in the first place. And then you're like getting a minority of a minority. It's like you're looking for a fraction of a percent. Like,
like any medium in general, or just the state of our country just is what it is. Like we were the majority in the first place. It takes time to grow. And then Valve's an established company. I don't think they have any, racist practices or anything. They haven't. Yeah,
that was kind of like what this guy was implying. He was like, "Oh, they haven't reached back to me for comments." Like,
yeah, you know what it is. It's they've hired from within forever. If anything, they've like supported the community more than any other AAA dev has ever done outside of id Software. It's just what's the big deal? And they're the first storefront to highlight minority creators, whether it's LGBTQ or or like just any socially or racial minority.
I blame more of like Hollywood in general for like gaslighting people for years, for being like, people don't want like black lead movies, they don't sell. And then boom, Black Panther drops and it's like one of the best fucking blockbusters of all time. Yeah, it's like, okay, so you guys are fucking liars, dude. Like, you're like, oh, we can't take a big risk. And then like the second they don't even take a big risk, like it blows up and they're like, oh shit, there's not a lot of black actors. It's like, yeah, because you haven't been fucking hiring them, dude. Like, I don't know. Right. I don't know. But there's like niches and there's markets. And you end up with like people who's like Tyler Perry's. Like, he has like a whole studio. He's made a bajillion dollars. Yeah. But he goes more of like the real old school Hollywood system of like, he owns fucking everything. Fuck you.
Yeah. He's definitely like a studio cast system for sure.
Yeah. But it's nobody else is putting out like good product though. Like, so he's the only, he's the, it's debatable.
It's a preference. Yeah. It's a preference thing.
Yeah. So
I mean, he got to start on like plays, and he's definitely a playwright first, but even then it seems very community theater-ish. I haven't seen anything that actually kind of could like get a broader scope release and actually invoke thought-provoking questions or things like that.
It's hard to do, man.
It is, but that's not what everything's meant for, right? You need something that can be just mass-produced, and that's how you get more creative art forms and more thought-provoking things too. Not
I was talking with somebody about this, about like Korean movies. And I was like, damn, they keep on putting out like banger after banger in Korea. And I was like, how do they do it? It's like, they start with like really good story, great acting. It's like, oh yeah, just make like really good shit. Like,
really good movie.
Yeah. Like, oh, it's so simple, like the ingredients, but it's like so fucking hard to do, you know?
True.
I don't know. So yeah, I don't blame. It's weird. It just seemed like they're like looking to pick on Steam because they're like a big marketplace.
Yeah. You can pick on literally any big studio and get the same result. I mean, it's not
I was like, I'm shook that they were like talking about like the possibility, oh heaven forbid, of like sexism and racism at Steam. Meanwhile, you got like fucking Blizzard and Activision having like actual lawsuits, class action lawsuits. Like you look at like what happened at like Bungie and 343, where they also had like, you know, lawsuits, people settling for undisclosed amounts of money. It's like League of Legends, Riot Games has had like a horrible like just toxic fucking workplace, like well documented, but they're like, but maybe like what's going on with Steam? It's like they're just chilling there on their own shit. Bunch of old ass white dudes making a lot of money, chilling, making good games, dude. Like they don't give a fuck, bro.
No,
it is what it is. But they're like, but I don't know, it seems like they're just trying to like pin them for the crime of being white, dude, and that seems more racist than them not looking for talent, dude. Like they're the player, dude. They're not looking for people. People are going to them. So it's like it's
just people looking for something to complain about, and then if they find it, they'll latch onto it. Going, I was the first to discover this. Like, no,
got him.
Fuck off.
Like fucking Roblox.
There's too much of a negative air of trying to expose negativity and getting pride from that than there is in just promoting goodwill. You know, I feel and not about that.
Man, it gets the clicks, dude. So what's also consumed my fucking time lately is this Doom Wad, My House. Have you heard of? Yeah, dude, it's been making the rounds. It blew up. Finally. I don't know. I was looking at it from like a game design perspective. So I watched like several videos. I watched somebody who like broke down all the lore behind it. I watched somebody who like broke down the map, like how it actually works. Because there's like 25 permutations of that main room. And then I watched like several people. I watched John Romero like play it. And man, I gotta like, John was basically done with that fucking thing after like 5 minutes. Because like he's probably like the same old school as me of like everybody fucking had like some kind of like house permutation WOD that they're sharing with their friends back in the day of like, oh, check out my map. Is he like, oh yeah, that's cute, and you're like done with it. So it took him a little bit to be like, oh, okay, there's a little bit more going on here, and like, you know, it brought a smile to his face. But I was watching like other people,
cool stuff they did.
But like just from like a pure level design point of view of like just watching people who play it blindly, like, man, they're just fucking up. Like they have like a wall with like a picture frame where like shows you like when you get certain items, but it's kind of like hidden off into the main room to the left. So you gotta like take notice of it. But like if you keep going to that living room and look out the main window, there's like a little blue orb that was there that wasn't there before. So it makes you be like, oh, okay, I'll clock that in and maybe go grab that later on, which starts like the next permutation of the house. Me as like a level designer, we're like taking that picture frame and put it on that same wall as the window that looks out to like the blue frame. And then in the basement, I would have added like an extra door so you could go right out back to the blue frame to like get into the next permutation. Because I don't think most people would exit the house immediately because they're like, oh, let me grab this other stuff, then go grab that. Or maybe I'll need that blue orb to go deal with like whatever else is coming up. And then there's just like really dark places. I don't know. It's also weird that like there's no way to really help players as well. Like it's designed by limitation. And I kind of dig that, where it's like, I was thinking like in a modern game, how they would have dealt with it. There's like, damn, there would have been fucking audio logs. There would have been like some like, disposition machine, like where they're like, let me drop some knowledge.
When I was looking at that, isn't it incredible that 30 years later, we're talking about a Doom WOD? You know what I mean?
Like, I mean, I've never stopped, bro. I was looking at Doom shit.
Love that there's still creative endeavors on
There's
the
a
old Doom
lot of
engines, man.
Doom
Absolutely love
shit,
it.
dude. They're making whole
Yeah.
ass games out of Doom Engine,
Oh yeah,
dude.
yeah. The
They have a Sonic game. They
Yep.
have Mega Man in that shit, dude.
Yep. Those are the older ones. There's newer
Yeah.
games coming out that based on the Doom compiling or whatever. So works well, man. It's one of those games where like the game feel fucking perfect. That game is
Yeah.
amazing, and
Yeah.
you just want more of it, man. So yeah. No, shout out
It's no
to the
Quake.
My House people. I think it was one dude who made it, right? Was it one dude
Allegedly,
or was
like
it the team?
nobody knows. That's kind of part of the mystique of it.
That's the whole fucking. That's
It
some
might
good
be,
internet marketing.
yeah.
But yeah, man, let's talk about some gaming a little bit here.
Did you
Did you
see anything about it?
about
What
My
was
House?
your
Oh yeah, I
feelings?
downloaded the
Yeah.
WAD. I haven't played it or anything.
Have
It
you
was
watched
just a
anybody
lot of
else?
hype.
You know anything
I
about
saw
it?
saw the John Romero playthrough. I skimmed through it,
Yeah.
and I was like, I want to play through this myself. I didn't want to get spoiled.
Yeah.
So
I guess there's like, you have to read like all the content that comes packed in that. Well, there's like,
okay,
again, like,
it's like an ARG as well.
yeah, there's like text documents where he's like explaining like his designing of the map and stuff about,
Okay.
All this stuff. There's like images and stuff in there with like time he spent at the house with his buddy and stuff. So I don't think there's a ton of hints in there, but there's stuff in there, I think, that helps you figure out stuff in the map.
Okay.
Again, like if it was a modern game, it would have been like, this is an audio log. This is like a note you pick up in the room to help you out, like get through this puzzle. It gets dark as fucking places too. So
there are aspects of older game design that I wish we would do, and as a as a developer myself, I plan on doing, like Metal Gear Solid, for example, putting the Meryl's codec number on the back of the box.
yeah,
Just something so simple like that. The Soul Psycho Mantis, put your controller on the floor and watch me move it with my mind. Just fucking amazing, man.
Yeah,
man. Vibration. Reading your
I
saves.
you've played
going,
other
you love
Konami,
Crash
yeah.
Bandicoot. Just,
how does he
shit
know?
Like that,
Son of a bitch.
I would totally do shit like that, or I'd do something.
Like Undertale did shit like that.
Yeah. I was gonna say Undertale brought that shit back too, and some of the stuff that I have like design docs for, I have like stuff where the player will decide stuff early in the game, like favorite color stuff like that, and then I'll start populating the game with it, and then just start fucking with the world, and then just making it more about them. Just like So
I've been watching AAA developers like GDC talks.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the problem is like most people are dumb as fuck, bro. Like they're talking about like how like
you have to lead them like cattle.
Dude. They're like they made like a giant circle that like if you hit it, like you get more resources. And people like couldn't figure it out. They're like, I thought that just meant that I like had that resource selected to get items from. So then they like had to make it an upgrade that you get. So then you realize like, oh, I upgrade. So now I can get more resources when I click that blue dot. It was like supposed to be in there from the rip, dude.
Isn't that troubling though? Like, and anyone else making anything creative, even if you're like school projects would be like make a board game or something, right? Yeah. Something that seems so easy for you, or it's like anyone can figure this out by looking at it. Yeah, intuitive to you is like isn't for whatever reason, right? Yeah. And sometimes it's like the most maddening thing, like.
I was like watching people play My House, dude. After like I know how everything works in it, I'm like, bro, no, just click the thing, click the fucking, god damn it.
Like, the very first game I made, I remember I had spacebar was a jump, right?
Yeah,
it's a jump in shit ton of games. Other games say it's a Z and like whatever because the spacebar was like too much to hit. But very first game I ever made, I had my parents try it. Spacebar was jump. My parents using the arrow keys to move. Had no idea how to jump to hitting the up arrow, and I'm like, wait, what? It's space.
We're the game journalist.
yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck, And I'm like, okay. No. So from then on, I would always add like a help screen or instructions, or would make a tutorial level on how to do the controls.
Yeah, bro. Like even like that dice game I made where you put dice on the square, and then that lets you attack people. People were confused about that, so I added a tutorial in the beginning where you literally have to drag a dice onto the sword and then it slashes to show that you did it. And then they still had people being like, how do I attack? Like, I'm like, bro, you literally had to do it to get into the game. How did you, what? Dude, like, I don't know. It's, in that game I was talking about earlier with the resource guy, and that was called a little game called Fortnite, So it's like a lot of the systems that become intuitive because maybe you see other people do it, like just aren't at first glance. So it's wild to think about, man. I know like there's been a couple other games that also have tried to deal with this as well.
Yeah.
I remember seeing somebody complain about like the new Xenoblade. I think it's 2.
Sure.
That
Yeah.
the first like hour of that game's like tutorials, and it's like all text, and they're just talking about like how poorly laid out the tutorials are, because it's all like words. Like it doesn't like lead you through any of the menus and shit. And then they introduce like the battle mechanics to you first, but you don't even get into an actual battle until like an hour later after you're done with like all the other tutorial shit. So it's like, bro, it's like you're teaching people shit out of order. Like it's tough, man. And then it's like the guy's biggest complaint was like, why are they teaching me this? This is the second game. This is nobody's first JRPG. Like, what are you doing? This is crazy.
That's the problem. That guy is wrong. It could be someone's first JRPG.
Who's getting in on 2, bro? Like,
how many people played Final Fantasy 7 as their first Final Fantasy? Who's getting in on 7?
Yeah, go play 1.
Dude. People do.
Yeah.
People do. That's what it is. You know. Yeah, man. But on that note, man, it's about our time. Ubisoft Showcase happened. Xbox Showcase happened. Summer releases are scheduled. Are you looking forward to any game this summer? Or early fall, I should say.
Nah, like there wasn't really any great showings. There's a lot of mid games.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. People are getting hyped for, was it Starfield? Was it the Bethesda banger?
Yeah. Yep.
And I was like, you guys are really getting excited about this game? Like, I don't know. They showed a lot of like playing stuff, and I was like,
Bethesda IP in like 20 years. I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at that, and I was like, it looked okay. I know, like I've always talked about wanting like a simple space trading game. It's hard to like. I don't think that's going to be it. Yeah, it's not simple though. Like that's the problem, right? It's like you got to do all this. Yeah, not simple, bro. Like you have to use the whole keyboard to control a spaceship. They're like, that was like some of the comments were like, I just got to see how the spaceships control. Then I'll know how good this game's going to be. I'm like, bro, who are you, bro? They got Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think they talked about that game as well. Yeah. They added like the Dune ships to that, so that looked all right.
Well, yeah. The Dune, yeah, definitely.
What about you? Any games in these? Oh, also last week I think we talked about like what the hell's Rare doing, and I forgot. Like we're talking about Perfect Dark as well. And I was like, oh, that was a Rare game.
Yeah,
Fuck.
It was. They're not handling the new one.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
It's kind of weird on this too. There's just they haven't done anything. I think they did like the remaster collection.
Sea of Thieves, and they're working on a new.
Oh, there's a Sea of Thieves announcement too with the with Monkey Island. Yeah, that looked all right. Are you excited about that? I know you like Monkey Island.
I love Monkey Island. Sea of Thieves just isn't my type of game.
Yeah,
but I like that people are experiencing the world. But yeah, I love Monkey Island, but I probably won't play it just because Sea of Thieves just doesn't click with me. I don't think it's a bad game or anything. Just not every game's made for every person, you know.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of oceans, a lot of nothingness, a lot of treasure hunting. I tried that one game, Raft. I enjoyed that. There's a lot of ocean. It felt like Sea of Thieves, but like sped up and like a main storyline instead of just being like, it's an open world, make your own fun. It's like, yeah, it's fair, but you know.
Yeah.
If I was doing that, I'd rather be playing like Minecraft personally. But.
I get that. For me, man, I'm looking forward to Armored Core 6. They released gameplay of that. It's looking fun. Pikmin 4. Which they announced earlier in the year, like in February, but that comes out next month. And then the fighters, but Pikmin 4, I'm looking forward to. It's gonna have co-op. My wife and I played through Pikmin 3 together. It was very fun. So just looking forward to that, man. So we'll see how it goes, man. But I hope to work on my own projects as well. But yeah, man, it just so far.
Is there any VR stuff out there that was tickling you?
No More Rainbows. It's a VR platformer that controls kind of like inspired by Gorilla Tag, where you're just this giant monster destroying this cutesy world in a platformer.
Nice.
It's fantastic. Red Matter 2, I have Red Matter 1 and 2 in my cart, so I'll definitely play through those finally. And then there's some puzzle games.
Pavlov? Got an
Pavlov
update?
Just got a huge update, yeah. Which
got rid of like all the old community mods and stuff, but
it's the port to Unreal 5.
Oh,
so it's a big deal. I was thinking, should we try it?
I don't know, maybe we should try it. I know that like Unreal 5's been really hard to get to work with VR shit. So I don't
It's
know. Might
actually
be.
streamlined now. Since whatever their last update was, like the
Yeah.
last big revision for Unreal 5. Like I think it's like the foveated rendering stuff. Um,
Yeah.
it's just seamless working now. So
That's
Veil
great.
has been ported to it now. Pavlov. There's one other VR game I can't remember, but it just recently got ported as well, and it's working seamlessly. It's smoother, it's more responsive, and obviously the graphics are better. So, you know,
Excellent.
interesting shit. So yeah, maybe we'll have to check that out, man.
I
Should be good.
think there's like a big VR Humble bundle right now if you're watching it this week.
Yeah, the
It's
Upload
like
VR pack.
Pistol Whip and
Yeah, Pistol Whip added mod support
yeah.
actually, so you can make your own campaigns and stuff. So that's pretty sick. For me, man, I love Pistol Whip, but that Humble VR bundle, I own all but one game, so
Yeah, it's not worth.
it's not for me.
It's
But
people who
I
listen to
stand
this,
behind it.
dude.
Definitely, yeah, check it out.
I don't
Check
know.
it out.
Sheesh. All
All
right,
right.
then, man.
Here we are. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out
Happy
there,
Fathers.
and everybody I stomped in Halo the other night.
Happy is Juneteenth, Emancipation Day.
Juneteenth tomorrow, yeah.
Free at last.
All right, and on that note,
You guys are free. We said goodbye like 8 times. Bye.
Mr. Gimpy.
Peace. Good
Super
month.
Dog.
Like,
Outta here.
share,
Later.
subscribe. Peace.